Joining us now, award-winning reporter and the author of several critically acclaimed nonfiction books on the American military, Thomas Ricks. His latest novel is titled We Can't Save You. And Tom, we'll get to the book in just a moment. But first, we want to get you on these current events. What are your thoughts from what you saw from Ukraine over the weekend? These remarkable secret drone strikes deep inside Russia, sending a powerful signal, and also coming just hours before the two sides were meeting for their second round of peace talks.
I think you're exactly right. It sent a powerful signal. The strikes apparently were not as destructive as first described, yet the TV images were so important. And I think it was a message not just to Vladimir Putin, but also Donald Trump. The sense that Trump really doesn't read or understand words on the paper, but he understands TV images and watches them incessantly.
So, Rick, we want to get to your book, but I do want to touch on your latest opinion piece for Politico magazine. It's entitled What Pete Hegseth Gets Wrong About Warfighting. And you write in part this: the more you know about military operations, the more you understand that you don't want to focus on fighting. That gets people killed, like your kids or grandkids. The worst way to go to war is by flinging your people into combat. War fighting, as the tattooed and tough-talking former TV commentator puts it. You don't do frontal assaults against an entrenched and bunkered enemy, as happened on D-Day, because you want to, but because you absolutely have no other choice. Yes, force readiness is great, but the best way to win wars is by helping other countries be ready. Preparing our allies also makes them less susceptible to being overrun by their and our enemies, a lesson that the world is learning the hard way in Ukraine. Knowing how to actually wage war alongside allies is the way to victory, not this macho nonsense Hegseth is peddling. I think it's like the warrior ethos or something he calls it. But geostrategically, it makes a lot of sense to stand up with your allies. And it seems like that's exactly the opposite of what this administration is doing.
It is the opposite. Pete Hegseth talks a lot about discipline, but look, Pete Hegseth is not a poster child for discipline. This is a notoriously indisciplined man. He's talking a lot about lethality in war, but if you actually look at what he's doing, he's taking apart things like the security assistance brigades that are so important in helping allies fight. And he's really focusing on politics. I'm appalled at how they're stripping out names, like supposedly they're going to take the name Medgar Evers off a Navy ship. Medgar Evers is an American hero. Pete Hegseth should respect someone like that, a veteran and a man who came home and fought for freedom in America as well before being murdered, shot in the back by a white supremacist. But this administration likes white supremacists more than it likes people like Medgar Evers, and that appalls me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Thomas, we mentioned earlier in the show, of course, that they're also going to strip the name of Harvey Milk off of a naval vessel. So let's talk a little more about this culture here that Hegseth has created. He's very fond of putting up social media videos of him working out with the troops, but yet he's also this week skipping a meeting other defense ministers about Ukraine, the first time a U.S. SecDef has done so since the start of the war. What sort of signal do you think Hegseth's leadership at the Pentagon is sending to the rest of the world, and how it's being perceived not just in Moscow, but maybe in Beijing?
Hegseth is sending the message that we're not serious. We talk about war fighting, but we're not doing the things that a nation that wants to have a ready force and wants to fight alongside allies does. Every signal I see and what they're really doing with our military is making it a political toy. They're looking for political generals who agree with them on ideology. This is no way to run a military. You want someone who's disciplined, who knows about killing and combat. You have somebody like James Mattis, who was Defense Secretary a few years ago, retired Marine general. That is a man of mental, intellectual, and physical discipline. To my mind, Hegseth has none of those. And for him to talk about discipline is a joke, especially when he supports very indisciplined people like the special operator Eddie Gallagher, who was put on trial by the Navy for a variety of war crimes.
So, Tom, let's get to your new novel entitled We Can't Save You. And it takes readers to the shores of Maine for a political showdown with the White House. Tell us about it.
Well, every book Stephen King said once begins with the question, what if? With this book, I asked myself first, what if the Indian tribes, and some who call themselves Indians, Native American tribes in Maine, actually said, let's imitate the civil rights movement and protest global overheating? Why would they do that? Because the tribes of Maine actually have treaties going back to before the United States was created. These treaties are still in place, saying that the Anglos, the new people, who are now the Americans, would respect the environment. And so I have these tribes saying, you know, you're not respecting the environment. You, in fact, are violating the environment with global overheating. They begin to protest that. The Maine governor, a female, by the way, supports them in the novel. The president wants to crack down on them. And at the end, you get the U.S. Army actually chasing these Indian tribes up toward the Canadian border.
Another great one, the new political thriller, We Can't Save You, is on sale now. New York Times bestselling author Thomas Ricks, thank you very much for coming on the show this morning. We appreciate it.